Tom Bower, the legendary royal author, is sharpening his quill for a new edition of his book set to reveal huge secrets inside Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's marriage.
After years of being the most publicly scrutinized royal couple, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have long since switched from reacting to the many articles about their scandalous life to completely ignoring the tabloids and pretending they don't see it. But recently, a book published by royal author Tom Bower has managed to bring the Sussex family out of their PR sabbatical with demands that the author stop exposing them. What exactly did Tom Bower write in his book? Why did it get such a strong response from Meghan and Prince Harry? Join us as we uncover this juicy story. The furious demands of the Sussex squad. It is no secret that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have had, and continue to have, a very difficult relationship with the tabloids in the UK. Following their dramatic exit from royal life, Prince Harry and his Duchess made it clear that they wanted nothing more than to build their own life in private, without the eagle-sharp eyes of the public judging their every move. Throughout the years, every scathing publication from the tabloids were met with a quiet no comment from their spokesperson or a strategically filed lawsuit. The pair seem to have risen above the tabloid fray, projecting an image of serene focus on their charitable work and their new commercial empire. It almost worked. It almost felt like they had truly found their peace, leaving the British press pack screaming into the void. But that silence was as short-lived as what happened next was nothing but shocking. In a PR blunder that will be studied for decades, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have gone absolutely furious over Tom Bower's new 2026 biography, Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family. On Saturday, March 14, 2026, the world woke up to a public statement from their official spokespersons. The statement was incredibly aggressive and so full of anger that instead of shutting down the claims made by the seasoned royal author, it acted as a global promotional tour for the very book it was trying to destroy. Many people make a critical mistake, thinking Buckingham Palace is always passive in the face of scandals. According to Tom Bower, the reality is the complete opposite. Under the reign of the late Queen Elizabeth II, a woman who dedicated her entire life to protecting the sanctity of the crown, the rules of bloodline were never allowed to be compromised. Bower made a shocking statement in court that sent gasps through the gallery. The palace was not naive. Immediately after Archie was born at Portland Hospital in May 2019, while the world celebrated the happiness of the Sussexes, behind the thick stone walls of Buckingham Palace, a secret genetic testing process was quietly set in motion. Bower referred to it as a routine health check, but its true purpose was vital to the monarchy's survival. So, where's the result of that test now? Sources connected to Bower's palace gatekeepers confirm it has never seen the light of day. It was sealed and stored in a special safe deep within the palace's wine cellar, a location where only the highest-ranking family members hold keys for access. You're likely asking the obvious question, why keep it hidden? If the result shows Archie doesn't carry Windsor blood, why wasn't it revealed back in 2019 when the truth could have been managed? Tom Bower offered a ruthless explanation rooted in political survival. Imagine the collapse of an empire. In 2019, the British royal family was already reeling from the devastating scandal surrounding Prince Andrew and his connections to Jeffrey Epstein. It's a potential checkmate. These tapes could reshape public perception, fracture what's left of royal relationships, and dominate headlines for months. And Bower knows the power of timing. The Sussexes have been keeping a low profile lately, shifting focus toward philanthropy, media projects, and brand building. Dropping a bombshell now forces them back into the defensive posture they've been trying to escape. And whether by coincidence or calculation, it keeps the royals, particularly the Sussexes, firmly in the global spotlight.
I mean, it shows bizarre behavior by the Sussexes. The Beckhams have to swallow it. It is all just pretty odd.
But here's the bigger mystery. Let's consider how he ended up with these alleged tapes. Were they handed to him by a disillusioned royal insider, obtained through a chain of media contacts? Or is Bauer playing a longer game timing their release for maximum impact on Harry and Meghan's public image? One thing is certain. If Tom Bauer is involved, the leak isn't random. It's strategic. And that means the damage may already be carefully calculated. Some say they might have been recorded entirely by accident. An open phone line, a mic left running at a private event, or a conversation overheard and captured by someone in the room. That kind of slip can happen faster than you think, especially in a world where every device is a potential recorder, while others whisper about something far more deliberate, an insider within the royal circle, someone with access and a score to settle, deciding it's time to let certain truths see daylight. In a family where loyalty is currency, such a move would be nothing short of treason. And then there's the most calculated theory of all, that this is part of a coordinated media play. A strategic leak was created to shift narratives, pressure certain players, or distract from another royal headache. In the monarchy's long history of behind-the-scenes leaks, they have often been as choreographed as any official statement. Whatever the truth, the fact that these tapes landed in Tom Bauer's hands suggests one thing. Someone wanted this story told, and told loudly. And if these recordings are murky, the contents are even more explosive. The unseen player in the royal game. Tom Bauer isn't your everyday royal commentator. This is a name that, in royal circles, triggers both fear and fury. He's an investigative journalist with a reputation for his unauthorized biographies, often of business tycoons and newspaper proprietors from Buckingham Palace to Downing Street. Over the years, he's exposed the inner workings of powerful families, unearthing secrets that many believed would never see daylight. His royal track record is particularly telling.
He is really quite deranged and causing enormous damage to the royal family.
He has authored explosive biographies on members of the royal family, often based on meticulous research and interviews with insiders, some willing, some less so. Bauer has a reputation for digging where others won't, coaxing insiders to talk and piecing together unflattering truths from whispers and paper trails. Palace aides allegedly view him as a dangerous operator who, once he catches a scent, won't stop until he has the full story. Those who felt the sting of his pen have described him as relentless, unapologetic, and completely immune to royal charm offensives. And that's what makes things really interesting. And inside the palace walls, Bauer is seen less as a journalist and more as a threat, someone who can't be controlled, can't be bought, and won't back down. Which is exactly why, if secret tapes were floating around, he'd be the one to get them. In the world of royal reporting, the more dangerous the secret, the more likely it is to find its way into his hands. Tom Bauer doesn't just write, he's a disruptor. In the royal arena, his reputation is even sharper. His 2022 bestseller Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War. Between the Windsors painted Meghan as a master strategist and Harry as a man torn between love and duty, willing to burn bridges for the woman he married. Now that you know who's holding the cards, let's talk about what might actually be on them. Now, word on the street is that Bauer's next play involves secret tapes, recordings allegedly capturing the Sussexes at their most unguarded. In the chessboard of royal politics, this is no pawn move. If another fraud, this time involving paternity within the direct line of succession, was exposed, it would mark the end of the monarchy's credibility. King Charles, then still Prince of Wales, and Prince William faced a brutal choice: reveal the truth and witness potential collapse of public faith in the monarchy, or choose strategic silence to protect the institution's survival. They chose the second option. They chose silence. But this compassion and conservatism created what Bauer calls a media monster. The palace's silence inadvertently gave Meghan Markle the perfect shield. She understood that the palace would never dare reveal the truth, fearing the scandal would be too destructive. And from that protected position, The counterattacks on the royal family through explosive interviews and documentaries began to unfold with devastating effectiveness. But the detail that strikes hardest in Bauer's account concerns Prince Harry himself. Bauer emphasizes that Harry may be the most tragic victim in this entire drama. He's trapped in what Bauer calls a glass cage of lies. Harry fights the world, battles his own family, sacrifices everything to protect his wife and children, without ever realizing he might be defending a genetic fraud that he himself has not been made aware of. He believed every word Meghan said, trusted in the happiness of fatherhood, while potentially being turned into a tool for a sophisticated power grab. Bauer's testimony about this DNA report isn't just an accusation. It's a warning bell about the emptiness behind grand ceremonies and fairy tale narratives. If what he says is true, then Archie, the child who stands seventh in line to the throne, is in fact a stranger to the Windsor bloodline. And when this truth exploded in court in January 2026, we understand that the price of silence the palace has paid over the years has become an enormous debt that could burn everything down. Shocking discovery. Just when we thought things couldn't get any worse for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they did. Imagine being not just any prince but the Prince of England and getting denied a visa because of your history with drug use. But that's not even the worst part. The real shocker? The FBI reportedly did a full sweep of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's mansion, and what they found was downright implicating. Some sources speculate drugs were uncovered. Others suggest it was something even more damning. Curious to find out what was found? Keep watching, because this story is just beginning. The speculation around drugs being found didn't come out of nowhere. It stemmed from Prince Harry's own words in 2023. In his explosive memoir Spare, he essentially admitted to using drugs. But that admission didn't just shake readers. It set off alarm bells in the U.S. conservative think tank, began questioning why Prince Harry was even allowed into the country in the first place. His open discussion of past drug use raised serious questions about how he answered the visa application form in the first place. Because when foreigners apply for a U.S. visa, they're asked point-blank about any history of illicit substance use or drug-related offenses. And here's the twist. Past substance use automatically equals denial. Harry, who moved to the U.S. 5 years ago with Meghan and their son Archie, later welcomed their daughter Lilibet on American soil. But in 2023, when Spare hit the shelves, it brought more than just media buzz. In it, Prince Harry detailed his use of cocaine, marijuana, and psychedelic mushrooms as both a teenager and an adult. He even reportedly admitted that cocaine wasn't much fun, and it didn't make him happy, but it made him feel different. And that was the main goal. Shocking, right? And so Harry's attempt to be honest about his past had completely backfired. While this revelation may have helped bring clout and sell books, it also put a target on Harry's back in the U.S., where he now lives and works. All of this led to serious legal action as the Heritage Foundation, a U.S. conservative think tank, filed a lawsuit under the Freedom of Information Act. Their goal? To find out exactly what Prince Harry wrote on that immigration form. She later told El País that in her opinion, the design was a total copy. The change of brand name from American Riviera Orchard to As Ever has also drawn some unwanted attention to Markle's business. In her Instagram announcement video, Markle explained that she originally chose American Riviera to represent her neighborhood, Santa Barbara. However, she found the title too limiting, as it would restrict her product line to items manufactured and grown in that area. She added that she opted instead for As Ever, a name, she said, had been secured back in 2022. According to filings with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, Markle's team applied for the As Ever trademark on September 17, 2024. While the application was greenlit by the examining attorney, it hadn't been published as of March 26th. But the launch has stirred more than just a little buzz. Shortly after announcing the rebranding from American Riviera Orchard to As Ever earlier this year, two other businesses with the same name have come forward to express surprise. The first is a New York-based clothing brand called As Ever, run by Mark Kolsky since 2017. Kolsky, who seemed caught off guard, didn't make a big fuss. He told Vanity Fair that while he hadn't received a heads-up from Markle's team, he wasn't planning on making any changes or taking legal action. If they had intentions of making clothes from the start, then it could have been a problem, Kolsky explained. But they're not making clothing, so I have no interest in having any public forum battle. Jen Corbett, owner of As Ever Photography, took a similar route. Initially, she posted on Instagram saying, "When one of the most famous people in the world starts using your biz name of 12+ years, that you named in honor of your grandmother, seems like they could throw me a lil bone." But after some thought, Corbett deleted the post and clarified that while she had a little fun with the situation, she had no interest in fueling a public feud. "I'm not about hate-mongering against her," she explained. Yet it's not just the name that's causing a stir. As Ever has also faced backlash for its marketing tone. The brand's website features the bold statement, "As Ever's more than a brand. It's a love language." Meanwhile, Markle's newsletter includes the description of the raspberry spread's packaging, suggesting it could be reused to hold love notes or special treasures. Margaret Hartman, senior editor at The New Yorker, couldn't resist a jab, commenting that Markle's big idea seemed to be rinsing and reusing jam jars. This snark plays into the ongoing commentary about Markle's Netflix show, With Love, Meghan, which drew criticism for painting an image of a privileged life in Montecito. One particularly brutal review from The Guardian described it as toe-curlingly unlovable. It's still early to pass final judgment on As Ever, especially considering the brand has only just launched. The question now is, can a line of artisanal jams and shortbread cookies smooth over the growing list of controversies? Only time will tell. What do you think about all of this drama unfolding in the royal family? Do you think Prince Harry will find his way back into the fold, or do you think otherwise? Share your opinions with us in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the following video on your screen and you will enjoy it. A new controversy. Let's start with Harry. The Duke of Sussex recently stepped down from a long-standing charity role in Africa, but the exit wasn't exactly graceful. According to reports, the departure came amid a swirl of accusations. Racism, bullying, mismanagement, you name it. Claims and counterclaims flew like confetti, and suddenly, Harry's philanthropic glow-up started to look more like a PR meltdown. Royal commentators didn't hold back either. Some are now branding the entire Sussex image as, quote, toxic. And just when you thought that was the week's big scandal, enter Meghan with a freshly launched lifestyle brand and a fresh round of backlash to match. Meghan had been teasing the project for months. First came those bougie aesthetic jars of jam mysteriously landing in celebrity kitchens, each stamped with the name American Riviera Orchard. It was giving aspirational coastal core energy. But fast forward to February 2025, and the name was suddenly swapped for something else. As Ever. Soft rebrand? Maybe, but the rollout wasn't smooth. A newsletter finally spilled the tea, or rather, listed the teas, honeys, jams, shortbread, and crepe mixes that As Ever would be serving up. Prices ranged from $9 to $28, and the internet had thoughts. Critics weren't just side-eyeing the product line, they were dissecting the whole aesthetic. One hot topic? The logo. The logo in question is pretty enough. a gold-on-white emblem framed by an elongated octagon, featuring a palm tree flanked by twin hummingbirds. It's serene, it's chic, it's very Montecito, but now it's at the center of a potential legal dispute. An anonymous source told Vanity Fair that the brand chose the tree as a reference to Markle's home in California, while the hummingbirds are a favorite of Markle's husband, Prince Harry. So, while Meghan was hoping for a graceful entrance into the lifestyle space, the critics came ready. But some outside viewers have been skeptical of the inspiration behind the design. Critics noted that the design looked oddly similar to the historic coat of arms used by Porreres, a small town in Majorca, Spain, since the 1400s. In an interview with The Sun in February, the mayor of Porreres, Francisca Moraveni, said she was considering legal action against As Ever for the logo, though she admitted that such a challenge might be too costly for the town to pursue. Venny reportedly expressed that they didn't want their coat of arms to be distorted or misused. She pointed out that the only difference between the logos was the choice of birds. Markle's featured hummingbirds, while the original included either swallows or pigeons, depending on which historian one asked. The foundation argued that media coverage of Prince Harry's admitted drug use raised serious questions. Had the royal lied on his immigration paperwork? Or worse, had he been granted special treatment when entering the U.S.? They insisted there was intense public interest in knowing whether the Duke had been completely truthful on his visa application. At first, it seemed like the matter was put to rest. In September 2024, District Judge Carl Nichols declined the request. According to royal commentator Juliet Reedon, the judge said there wasn't enough public interest to override Harry's privacy, and that seemed to be the end of it. But then, things took a sharp turn.
Harry has settled his long-running legal battle in the UK against Rupert Murdoch's news group's newspapers. Royal commentator Juliet Reedon joins us.
Reedon said the Heritage Foundation appealed, and surprisingly, the same judge reversed his ruling. This means the redacted documents are now set to be released documents that could spell real trouble for Prince Harry.
We were expecting to see Prince Harry there in the UK over the course of this trial, which was expected to run for 8 weeks. But I think that Prince Harry can certainly feel very happy with this result. I think
Reedon hinted that what's inside those files might be very tricky for the Duke. What's murky is the type of visa Harry entered the U.S. with. According to Reedon, there's speculation that Prince Harry might have entered the U.S. under an A1 special visa.
I don't think so. Overnight I tried to talk to the palace and nobody is wanting to comment on this. I think they're leaving this as out there for Prince Harry. I'm sure that they will be also happy that
a rare category typically reserved for heads of state and royals. If that's true, he may have never even been asked about his drug use during the application process, which could change everything. But following all this drama, Harry hasn't said anything which isn't surprising, as saying something could be even messier for him. In an interview with the New York Times, the prince simply said he very much enjoys living in the United States, and he enjoys bringing up his kids here. No mention of the visa drama, no response to the swirling controversy. But all of this makes us wonder, could Harry actually lose his visa? The truth of the matter is no one knows yet. Everything hinges on what's inside those redacted documents. If they show he was dishonest on the form, then the consequences could be severe. As for former President Donald Trump, his comments on the matter have been somewhat vague.
Harry is whipped. Do you know the expression whipped?
I'm familiar with the phrase.
I won't use the full expression. But Harry is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen. I'm not a fan of Meghan.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. And I wasn't right from the beginning.
Same
I think poor Harry is being led around by his nose, okay?
You think he's going to win?
Reedon said that back in March of last year, before being re-elected, Trump told UK politician Nigel Farage that Harry should not receive special treatment, and if he lied, appropriate action would be taken. But fast forward to February this year, and Trump's stance seemed to shift. Speaking to the New York Post, he said he had no intention of kicking Harry out of the U.S., stating, "I don't want to do that. I'll leave him alone. He's got enough problems with his wife. She's terrible." Ryden believes if Harry were to be deported, it would be catastrophic for the Sussex family, especially now that Meghan has launched a new business and they've fully settled into life in Montecito. But all of this makes us wonder, where is the royal family in all of this, and what have they said? Well, the answer is nothing. Not a word. And we all know why. The irony is devastating. His attempts to shield his loved ones from scrutiny may have created the exact conditions for the most explosive scrutiny imaginable. For Meghan, the actress who became a princess and then walked away from royalty to build her own empire, the stakes couldn't be higher. If Bauer's claims are validated, everything she's built, her brand, her credibility, her future, collapses instantly. For Archie, an innocent child caught in the crossfire of adult deceptions and power games, the future is uncertain and potentially traumatic, regardless of what the truth reveals. And for the British monarchy, an institution that has survived wars, scandals, and centuries of upheaval. This may be the test that determines whether it can survive in the modern age of DNA testing and demands for absolute transparency. We are committed to continuing to follow and bring you the latest developments in this unfolding drama. The truth is coming, whether through court documents, DNA evidence, or whistleblower testimony. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on what may be the biggest royal scandal in modern history. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Tom Bauer's damning testimony, or do you think this is just a final attempt to destroy the Sussex family? Do you think Meghan should immediately provide DNA evidence to silence critics? Do you believe Harry knew the truth, or is he the ultimate victim in this scenario? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss what this means for the future of the monarchy and whether the institution can survive if these allegations prove true. The storm of revelation has only just begun, and before it's over, everything we thought we knew about the most famous couple in the world may be proven to be nothing more than a carefully crafted lie.